Would like to thank you, Gurudev, cause your children couldn't thank you enough.
All right, so welcome to our weekly meeting. Today, our guest speaker is David Spector, who lives in the USA. He graduated with a BA in degree in physics in '68 and worked for many years, for 38 years, as a matter of fact, as a software engineer in many companies, small and large. He learned transcendental meditation in 1970, was made a teacher in 1972, and he actually went through 4 consecutive teacher training courses with Maharishi present, so he got quite a large exposure directly from Maharishi about this knowledge, and we do very much value his insights. He joined something called the Natural Stress Release Pro Project in 2006, revised the teaching materials, and has distributed the NSR Do-It-Yourself course to over 3,300 students or clients since then. So, David, the floor is yours, and we're looking very much forward to your talk.
Hi, everyone. This is Talk 11 in the Roots of TM Talk series of the International Teachers of Meditation Association, titled Maharishi's Theory of Stress Release. I'll be presenting my understanding of his teachings on the topic of stress, how it affects us all, and how Maharishi's practical teaching of transcending satisfies the primary need of our time, which is how to dissolve and eliminate stress from our bodies, minds, and lives, thereby fulfilling every aspect of personal and worldwide life. What you are seeing now on the screen is an overview of this talk, which will be presented in the form of a hierarchical outline of the main points. Let's start. Introduction. It's a stressed world, current solutions fail, religion is limited, mysticism is limited. It's a stressed world. Many families are stressed or dysfunctional. Parents are trapped in difficult situations. Children are exposed to traumatic situations. Work is often stressful. Our jobs are no longer secure. Our jobs have increasing pressures and loads. Unfair job situations and demands cause frustration. Economic pressure and lack of skills can require us to hold many jobs. We cannot afford to resign, be laid off, or fired. We're struggling to find a job, or we have given up and are coping with unemployment. Government is becoming intrusive in our lives. We have no control over extreme weather, mass shootings, and other disasters. Wars show little indication of ending. These problems are called stressors. Stressors are the barely tolerable external pressures or challenges that bring us tension, unhappiness, and eventually problems such as anxiety, depression, and stress-related diseases and disorders. Is there hope? Some people hardly seem to be affected by stressors. They maintain a sense of perspective and a sense of humor. They remain calm in the midst of adversity and catastrophe. Is there a way to get balance when we are deeply stressed? Current solutions. The more stress in our life, the less open we are to help. Psychotherapy is expensive, and when it does help, it can require months or years of treatment. The most popular forms of meditation tend to produce relaxation, but not the complete elimination of internal stress. Concentration and effort can even increase internal stress. Religion is limited. There are 5 to 25 major world religions, depending on which organization is publishing the idea. Traditionally, support for lives in stress was provided by religions. Today, religions can't keep up with the high stress levels in families and society. The old beliefs become harder to justify when religion fails to bring peace or happiness to stressed lives. Mysticism is also limited. There are many kinds of mysticism. Religious mysticism, such as Christian and Sufi mysticism, rituals to contact divine powers. Examples include the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, described in 1888 in London, the Kabbalah, indigenous American vision quests. And there are many specific belief systems. Here are just a few: astrology, numerology, ancient astronauts, flat earth belief, perpetual motion or free energy, homeopathy, anti-vaccination movement, crystal healing, extrasensory perception, ESP, ghost hunting, cryptozoology, political conspiracy theories, historical event denial, lost civilization theories, tarot card reading, UFOlogy, etc. Traditionally, our life philosophy in the West has been materialism, but materialism doesn't offer a solution to stress. So there has always been an interest in mysticism, whether it is Jung, religious, astrology, pyramidology, dowsing, Reiki, Enneagram, or chakra balancing. But none of these really eliminate stress. Let's talk about the effects of stress. We can relive stress-causing events in dreams and flashbacks. Stress can stimulate our fight or flight hormones. It can negatively affect long-term health of the body and happiness of the mind. Having stress puts us at risk to acquire more stress. Many effects of stress are measurable through its effects on markers in the body. Here are some stress markers: slower reaction time, anxiety measured through psychological inventories, anger measurement, poor memory, impaired creativity, poor problem solving, low skin resistance, EEG patterns, effects on blood pressure, cortisol, a stress hormone in the blood. We do not yet understand all the inner mechanisms of stress, not objectively at least. So those are some of the effects of stress. What is stress? Challenges are not stress. Inner strength causes suffering, not external challenges. Natural inner strength and good functioning of the nervous system are possible. We can enjoy mental balance, strengthen resilience of the nervous system, grace and flexibility independent of external situation, compassion and empathy with others, and a good sense of humor. All of these are possible. Stress reflects poor functioning of the nervous system. Stress causes suffering in response to stressors. And here's the primary definition. Stress is deadening of parts of the nervous system caused by overloads of experience. Stress has an evolutionary function. It protects us from further stress by limiting our functioning in a specific area. Examples of overloads: physical or mental trauma. For example, if as a child we're almost hit by a car, we get this sudden fright, sudden fear, and that can cause a stress to be created in the nervous system that lasts for all of our life and that repeatedly inhibits our functioning, our full happiness. Another example is enduring the pressure of working at multiple or difficult jobs. Another is arguing or fighting with someone. Another is unexpectedly winning a lottery or inheriting a fortune. That's a positive stress, something good that happens to us. Seeing a beautiful sunset, another good thing that happens to us, but they can cause stress, they can cause overload. Sometimes the circuit breaker analogy is used. Circuit breakers protect a home from fire due to short circuits or overload. Each circuit breaker protects one area of the house. Stress is a similar degradation of functioning of the mind and body. Circuit breakers can be reset. Stress can be eliminated. We'll see how. So that's what is stress. Let's talk about the solution that Maharishi brings, stress release. Thanks to Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, we have a practical solution to the problem of stress in individuals and society. Let's consider first why transcending is needed. Sleep and dreams release most stresses acquired each day. But deeper stresses require the missing fourth state of consciousness. Why is the fourth state of consciousness missing? We have inherited increasing amounts of individual and societal stress over thousands of years. Once this process started, it tends to reinforce itself, resulting in increasing suffering over time. How does transcending work? Let's talk about a general description of transcending. Transcending is deep rest of the body while the mind remains alert. Transcending is natural, effortless, and effective. Transcending is easy to learn in just a few sessions. Transcending requires only a few minutes twice a day while sitting in a comfortable chair with the eyes closed. Transcending gradually dissolves and eliminates even the deepest stresses. What happens during transcending? Transcending is the inner experience of quieter thought. Transcending leaves thought behind and reveals our natural, pure awareness. Pure awareness has no form, no limitations, no unreliability, no problems. Pure awareness brings silence, peace, and happiness. Pure awareness is the goal of all desires and actions. Transcending has two automatic strokes, inward and outward. The inward stroke is quiet, enjoyable, expansive, unbounded. The outward stroke is the activity of stress release. What do we do after transcending? After we meditate, we engage fully in our normal daily activity. This helps to stabilize our new state of increasing freedom from stress. So activity is very important. Immediate results of transcending: refreshment in body and mind, moments of joy. Long-term results: ends minor psychological problems, burnout, and drug abuse. It's compatible with talk therapy and medications. It produces increased creativity, intelligence, and joy in life. A happy, productive, successful, and fulfilled life. And peaceful, harmonious, and productive global effects generated by the positive influence of individual benefits. The benefits of transcending are validated by scientific research. Transcending is always learned through a structured course. It's ancient knowledge restored for the modern world. The course originated with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. It's based on the initiation of the Shankaracharya tradition. It teaches the basic Vedic technique of Turiya Dhyana. Turiya means the fourth state, and Dhyana means means transcending. The structured course is easily learned by any adult who can think a thought. Examples of a structured thought: transcendental meditation, teachers trained by ITMA, the International Teachers of Meditation Association, and natural stress relief. Those are just examples. There are certainly more. So that completes the brief overview of stress. And now we'll have questions and answers, which I will pause and allow you to think of and propose. And then after that, we'll have a group meditation.
David, you've been a long time at this. So, what is your perspective? This meditation has a long, long tradition under various names. But you've been, I think, since with Maharishi since 70. What is your perspective? Where is this technique going? What is the future of the world and this technique? How are they going to be involved? Is it going to grow? Going to disappear? What are your thoughts about that?
My thoughts are that if it does disappear, it will be revived. It'll be revived time and time again because it's needed. And if there is a truth, if there is a subjective truth that can be found for each individual, then it can be found at any time and in any place. So it most certainly will be revived. The reason why transcendental meditation has received all of the notoriety or attention that it has is primarily because of the Beatles, as Paul Mason has been telling us. And while that was wonderful publicity, it's not enough. And we see the numbers of people practicing transcendental meditation not maintaining. Right? The numbers of new initiations are certainly much lower today than they were back in the 1970s. So there's need now for more techniques, not just transcendental meditation. There's need for what I teach, which is the natural stress relief technique or meditation. And there's need for the standardized course that ITMA teaches. And anyone who can teach the genuine, unchanged knowledge that Maharishi gave to us, it's very necessary in today's world. The question of how successful is it? It's not in objective measures. It can't be considered to be tremendously successful, but there are local successes. There are places in the world where the governments support transcendental meditation, where it's taught in the public schools as part of the curriculum, particularly in South America. There was a large-scale attempt in the United States to study its application in schools and schools for younger students called the Quiet Time Program. And unfortunately, it was partially derailed by some religious fundamentalists who took out a lawsuit against the people running the program. But fortunately, the original disastrous expense that would have been imposed have been changed to a much milder level. And Quiet Time Program does have a chance now to be successful again. The research on it will get published, and that will help too. But it's true that TM is not a major force in our society, and it needs to be. We have great need for it and its alternatives.
Yes, thank you. So we have two teachers who graduated in the 2023 Teacher Training Academy. We have Philippe here and Bob Schulte, and this very much is part of your course with the Maharishi's theory of stress release. So maybe Philippe first, and then afterwards Bob, you'd like to have a few comments, compared it with what you learn in the course, what you teach.
I was looking for my mute button.
Uh-huh.
I very much appreciated your talk, David. Actually, will give me many good points to refine my intro talk with. I like what you had mentioned about how stress is not just negative experiences. And even in Shankaracharya's tradition, we say it's not even intense experiences, even just everyday mild experiences add impressions to the nervous system. And this process of transcending helps relieve those impressions from the nervous system. So trying to think what else I can add to this. It was a very, very complete presentation, I thought.
Thank you.
Yes, Shannon, would you like to say a few words? We've heard about you back and forth in our meetings, but it's nice to meet you in person. And could you tell a little bit about, what you think about this meditation and about David's talk and anything you feel like saying?
Well, I learned to meditate. I learned NSR from David many years ago. And we've been meditating together twice a day since then. And I have felt that it's of great benefit to me personally. Confirm your speaking language. Why does it want me to do that?
You don't have to bother with it. We all hear you perfectly, and it's English.
It's English. It's supposed to be English. Yeah. So sometimes, especially in the evening meditation, I fall asleep. But I understand that Maharishi said that that was okay. So, yeah. So anyway, I feel it's really been beneficial. And I'm grateful for it.
Great.
Yeah, I'd like to add that point of falling asleep in meditation is actually a very common experience for me. And part of what I've been realizing over the years is that as stress accumulates. It settles deep in the nervous system, creating kind of a fog. I mean, in essence, we're almost, now you may have a different viewpoint on this, but to me, it almost seems like we're living the three levels of consciousness simultaneously. On the surface, we're living waking consciousness, but in our subconscious mind, our stresses are activated and we're almost in a dream state. And we're walking around with this inner dialogue, which essentially is a state of dreaming. And then the majority of our stress is settled deep in the nervous system at a subtle level of our physiology. And that level of our mind is literally in deep sleep. So often when we transcend, we sink into that level of sleeping consciousness, and it will lull us into a state of sleep. And so I used to feel I was doing something wrong when I fell asleep in meditation. But I realize now it's really a process of waking up that subtler functioning of the mind that is in a state of sleep right now. And so I find a feeling of sleep in meditation is actually a good thing. I just wanted to throw that in.
Well, thank you for that.
Good. Any other comments? Anyone would like to comment? Bengt, Reed, Joel?
Hi, David. Hi, Abner. I just want to say, David, listening to your talk just listening to your talk, it just inspires me. It's like, this is why I meditate. This is why I show up to the practice. It's so simple. It makes so much sense. It's very, I haven't heard the basics in a really long time. Just thank you for presenting it in such an organized fashion. I just want to say thank you, and that's all I have to say. I'm looking forward to the group meditation. Thanks.
I would say it's okay to ask advanced questions if you want to. They don't have to be included in the final video.
Okay. I'll wait for another time. Thanks.
Thank you, Roland. And all right. So we'll take 5 or 10 minutes of meditation, and we'll just sit comfortably in our chairs, close our eyes. Well, I'd like to thank David for this very interesting and enjoyable and especially professional presentation. I think this is the most professional presentation we've had so far in this lecture series. And wishing you all the best, and we'll meet next Sunday. Thank you again, David.